What's up, guys? It's JZNES back again with another video. Today we're talking about Heavy Rain, which is a David Cage game. It's one of those, like heavy story-based games, kind of like Life is Strange, except with more quick time events and just like more button mashing and whatnot. I don't think you really ever did any of that in Life is Strange. It was more about the story there. This game kind of goes overboard with its like quick time events, and even the control is like you gotta like hold R2 to walk around. It's very strange stuff, but just doing anything in this game is like a freaking quick time event. But pretty unique style of game. I can't say I've ever really played anything exactly like it. Outside of the story-based games like Life is Strange and whatnot. But overall, like, yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good, let's adjust that there. Pretty good storyline, and that's what you mainly come to this game for, I think, is really the storyline and how that goes down and whatnot. And I gotta say, in terms of that, definitely, it's like a mystery story about you trying to find a killer, very similar to Life is Strange, etc., etc. Really, in that game, you're just tracking down a disappearance, but it evolves. So, but yeah, but like, it's more about the story than the gameplay. But the gameplay feels like they really thought that they like to integrate this. It's like if you were playing a movie, basically, like, and you're the actor and you've got to do all of the motions and whatnot, which is kind of what some cinematic video games are, in a sense, if you think about it. Like, you feel like more in like the Uncharted games and stuff, you get a little more choice because you get to like move around and stuff. In this game, it's mostly just like, hey, did you press the button at the right time? Hey, no, you didn't. Fuck you. All right, your guy died or whatever near the end there. But anyway, yeah, and that's another interesting thing is characters have the I suppose, I don't know, at any point in the story, maybe? I really don't know. Most of my characters survived until, like, almost the very end. I mean, I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but the characters do have the ability to die and just kind of, yeah, be dead by the end of the story. So that's kind of fucked up. But it was interesting how everything went down. I think I must have got one of like the bad endings or whatnot, but it was like not as bad as some bad endings can get. Like I think fucking Silent Hill 2 or whatever. I got the bad ending and I like was drowning in a car or some shit. I feel like, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played that, but I got the bad ending in that game. That was no fun. But this bad ending was like, I feel like it was only really bad because a couple of my characters died, kind of thing. Like, that was the only real reason it was bad. Not to spoil too much, like, I'm not going to give details and whatnot, but the whole point of the game is for the story and the mystery. But also about the mystery, I guess what's cool about that is, it's a typical mystery thing where they keep you guessing until the very end, but I did think that the reveal of who the origami killer was pretty cool, and it's a good reveal, good revelation there. It makes a lot of sense. I thought it was gonna be something stupid, like some character, that some weird character or something, but it ended up being a really good twist, I think, and I was satisfied with that. I thought it went down better than I kind of expected it to. I don't know. I had some ideas kind of midway through the story, and then those didn't end up to be true. And I think what they did was more interesting than what I came up with in my head. So, it's pretty cool. The other cool thing about this game is you play from not only like one character perspective, but you play through like maybe 4 or 5 different characters' perspectives, maybe 6. I'm trying to think. But mainly like 4 main people that you play through the eyes of, which is pretty cool. You get to see the story from different character perspectives, and like characters will find out a thing, and then like the other characters will find out kind of about the same time, so it kind of ramps up the tension and whatnot. And there's a cool like kind of system where you're you're sort of listening to your own thoughts or whatever. So it's like it's almost like Mega Man Battle Network, where you like talk about, like, you talk to Mega Man and he tells you what you're supposed to do, but like it's a little bit more in depth than that, because you actually get like a feeling for what your character is thinking at like all times. So that's pretty cool. It's like you get a little bit of their inner monologue there if you want it. Um, and it's well done enough, so I appreciate that. You know, always good. Good to get a little bit more of the characters, and the characters were pretty good. You know, this isn't like Life is Strange levels of characters, or like, I don't know, just like something like that, you know, or Persona 4 or something. I don't know, like where you get to like really get in depth with these characters, but they're good. They're well done enough, you know. I mean, I feel like the story was good, and it was definitely um, compelling. I was sitting here last night, and you know, I have to get up really early for my job or whatever, so I kind of like to keep a consistent sleep schedule. So even on a night where I don't have to go in the next day, kind of thing, I was just sitting there like I could keep playing this because I'm jazzed up and I'm like ready to go, keep playing. But I set it down because I knew I had all day today to do it, and it didn't even take me that long today. So, but I think the point of the game too is to go back through and make different choices and whatnot, and actually make your button presses right, because I didn't fuck up too many. I played on like the medium difficulty or whatever. Usually I play on easy, but I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll play it on medium difficulty. And some of the button presses were pretty insane to kind of get down, because it's like they're coming at you a mile a minute, and some things you have to hold and some things you have to mash, and it's just like in the heat of the moment you have to do these like motion controls. Like here, so like here's the PS4 controller. You remember 6-axis where you had to like do this shit, like motion controls or whatever? Like, fuck that shit. And they make you do stuff where you have to like, you know, like the AVGN joke where he's Batman forever. But it's literally like you're playing origami with your goddamn... My PS4 just turned on. Playing origami with your fucking... origami. No. What was I trying to say? Twister or whatever. Yeah, it's like you're making an origami thing. It feels like it. You feel it for sure, but it's a bunch of bullshit. There is one part where you actually do have to make origami, and it feels like you're making an origami. It's just a bunch of... It's like the button combinations that you have to do sometimes. Like, I literally had to, like, use both of my hands and, like, you know, like how you used to use the joystick like this? I had to do that sometimes because I had to hit, like, 3 of the fucking face buttons. Like, X, circle, square, or some shit. Like, and just hold that shit. So it's like, fuck. Like, how... It's like intense. It's like there's no way like you can do this without like shifting your hands in weird ways, and that definitely fucked me up a few times, and it probably led to me getting the bad ending too a little bit, because there's a certain part sort of like in the middle or sort of near the beginning where I fucked up, and then it fucked up a whole set of things, and bunch of bullshit because you had to press like all these buttons at once. It's ridiculous sometimes, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty cool. It's pretty innovative and that kind of stuff, and definitely for the time, I gotta say, like, graphically, the game looks like superb. But like, I know there's a little bit of remastering going on for the PS4, but you can definitely tell what's the PS3 graphics and like kind of what's the PS4 like upscaling or up-resing or whatever the fuck they did there. You know, you could tell the difference because the PS3 stuff looks a lot like something that you'd see in like Metal Gear Solid 4 or something, which is good. I mean, that looks good, but the you know, it's just like, I'm just saying, like, it's that distinctive PS3 look. You know, you can definitely tell like this came out on PS3 kind of thing. But still, for the time, and especially even now, it holds up. The graphics look nice, and the animations are a little like so-so sometimes, but they're for the most part like 90% of the time they're like really well animated and whatnot. In terms of like the soundtrack and whatnot, it's fine. It's passable. It's a movie score soundtrack, you know. There's elements of like horror and like tension-filled things like an action movie, because when you're doing all the button presses and whatnot, they play like really intense music. But so there's that. That's fine. Shit, I was gonna say something about something else, but I forgot. All right, so we're talking about the control, the button mashing. I don't know. I think out of the characters, I mean, I liked all of the characters and all the perspective characters or whatever, but I think out of the characters that I liked the most, the cop guy like the FBI guy was really cool. I like his like futuristic glasses where he like, it's like Ready Player One or something where he like has all this stuff around him. It's like VR or whatever. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I just liked his storyline most, and so that was pretty cool. Jeez, I want to say some things, but I don't know how to spoil anything. That's the problem here. It's like it's hard to talk about this game without talking about the story, because the story is like 70% of the game is just the story, and you pressing buttons and stuff to get through the story and to figure it out, and like pressing certain things, and there's like an investigative kind of element where you like go around and look through stuff and that kind of stuff. There's one character who is a private eye investigator. That's a big part of his. That was the cool thing also about the cop, the FBI guy, is that his glasses like show him like where evidence and clues are and stuff. So you have to like scan the room and you like go over there. Oh, this is a fingerprint from this guy, or this is a track from this guy, or this track is from this car. It'll like display all this information and like have all this geo scanning stuff. It's pretty cool. So that's definitely part of why he was like my favorite. In terms of gameplay, really, I don't know. In terms of characters, like, I don't know, they're all great, really. I would say a few things about a few characters, but I can't talk about them because of spoiler reasons, so I'm not gonna do that. And then, but yeah, like, game looks good. It feels well. I think the investigative elements is what I was trying to think of when I was talking about the controller or whatever. So yeah, you have some like investigative stuff where you like kind of look around people's places or like a certain area that you're doing or whatever when you're the private eye guy, to find certain clues and stuff. They kind of set that up early on in terms of gameplay where you're like looking around for stuff and whatnot. So it's a good progression of gameplay and whatnot. But yeah, it's a pretty short game. How long to beat says like 10 hours or whatever, so I feel like that's pretty accurate. I only spent a few nights on it, so it's definitely worth like playing if you're interested in these kind of games. And I don't know really what else to say without spoiling a whole bunch of stuff. I guess the story is kind of, well, I didn't even want to give like a synopsis of the story because then I was gonna spoil the beginning of the game. Okay, so the voice acting, there's some cheesy kind of delivery sometimes. Like 98% of the time, the voice acting is actually really good, but there's like one or two times, the infamous scene, Jason, 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 Jason. It's like, you kind of get a better line read out of this guy. It's funny because later on, there's actually a different part where you're saying Jason the same way, and it sounds better, and it's like delivered better. Like, why didn't they just use that at the beginning? I don't know. Anyway, but that's just one, like, small, like, 1% of the game. Like, don't even, like, if you're thinking, oh, this game's gonna be ridiculous because of that, like, it does have some ridiculous moments. There are some pretty funny, like, things that happen. But it's endearing, if anything. It's not too ridiculous. I liked the game. I know my friends, I think, are pretty mixed on it. At least my friend John doesn't, like, really care for it or something like that. I don't know if he liked it or not. I'll have to ask him about it. But, I know he's, so-so on these David Cage games or whatever. I think he liked that third game or whatever, the Android one, but, that's not on this. It's in this collection. I have the collection over there, but it's not on these two discs here. It's interesting about this, though. I've never even seen this happen. There's actually a 2-disc deal here, where like there's a divider and everything, like a little. I've never seen that happen on a PS4 game. Like, that's crazy, but apparently that's a thing that you can do. So that's pretty cool. I bet the BioShock collection or something's probably like that too, eh? I didn't even think of that. Do I have that? I think I have that. Oh no, I just downloaded that. That's right. They gave it to me for free on PSN. This collection's still like $30. I'm not just gonna like sink my money into it. I already have all 3 games on PS3, and it's not like they're gonna do that much more to improve them. Like, I don't imagine. So then again, I bought The Last of Us again, and the 3 Uncharted games again. But they were all really cheap. I mean, that collection was probably like $5 or $10, like, and the Last of Us was definitely like $10 by the time I ended up getting it. It sat in disc replay for like $15. I think you can still get it for now, which is like, if you haven't played The Last of Us, that's a good price, you know. So, but anyway, that's talking about a whole other game. I mean, those are like more cinematic games, but those are more action-based cinematic games. You know, like you get to shoot around and stuff, which is cool. There's like a shooter part of this game too, which is pretty interesting, but it's just more quick time events and whatnot. But that's the majority of the game, is just quick time events and story, and it's a well done story. I'd say if you like story based games, I would definitely recommend you to play it. It can't be too expensive now. I wouldn't assume. They ported it. I don't know if it's on. I imagine it's got to be on PC. For the longest time, it was like PS3 only. I think Beyond Two Souls is on PC, and the Detroit Become Human game I think is on there too. I think. I don't know. I didn't pay that close of attention to these games, but yeah, I'm glad I played it finally. It's more so just because I'm wanting to play some short games before the Pokemon DLC comes out. I'll probably review that at some point here. I think I've kind of resigned myself to, even though I have like a full living dex prior um, to these new games, I'm gonna just kind of make a new living dex based off, like Sword and Shield is gonna be my new like jumping point, because at least with the 3DS games, I can still transfer my Pokemon around through the 3DS games. Not that those games are like anything like too amazing or anything, but I feel like those Pokemon are kind of... the journey was more the original games up to the 3DS games, and then if I transfer them past there, they're not gonna... But then again, they're gonna go away anyway, with Pokemon Home going away at some point, whenever that happens, so maybe they would be safer on my Pokemon Home. I don't know, but I figured for now, at least, until they announce that they're getting rid of Pokemon Home, I guess. I mean, Pokemon Bank. I guess I'm just gonna, uh, just gameplay-wise, just so I can... Maybe I'll get the exclusive ones and transfer those up, or breed them and transfer them up or something, because it's like, I don't want to fucking have to buy $30 worth of DLC again on Shield to do that. That would be a little ridiculous, but, it's a pretty good deal. It's $30 for both DLCs, so that's cool. But anyway, not even related to Heavy Storm, like the Yu-Gi-Oh card, Heavy Rain. So yeah, cool game. It's pretty good. I'd said play it. It's short. It's nice. It's good. It's a good short experience there. But it's short, but it gets across what needs to get across in the perfect amount of time. Those are the kind of games that I like, when they're a good experience in a in a brief amount of time, and in the best amount of time, where they utilize their time well. So yeah, and I would say that's this kind of game. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it's a good game and I liked it, and that's it. And so this has been JZNES saying keep it classic, stick around for more reviews, underrated games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. JZ out.